It is a great honor to have Mr. C.F. Wong, Commissioner for Climate Change of the Environment and Ecology Bureau, be our keynote speaker. Please welcome Mr. Wong.
Morning. Mr. Calvin O'Brien, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to be here today to address the important issue of climate change and its impact to the business sector. I will talk about the risks and opportunities that climate change presents to the business sector, the Hong Kong's decarbonization strategies, as well as the role of the newly established Climate Office. Climate change has become an important topic for business sector, as business have to understand and manage the risks it brings about. Apart from the more obvious physical risks, such as reduction in production capacity and disruption of supply chain as a result of extreme weather events, companies are also exposed to transition risks arising from the society's response to climate change. Common transition risks include rapid change in technologies and market, as well as regulatory uncertainties, such as the recently announced EU carbon ban and the upcoming ISSB standard on climate-related financial disclosures. Companies have to demonstrate to their investors and customers their understanding and preparedness of all these risks in order to avoid reputational damages. Apart from risks and challenges, climate change also brings about new business opportunities. In Hong Kong, over the past decade, the government has spent around 47 billion Hong Kong dollars to implement measures to reduce Hong Kong's carbon emissions. And in the next 15 to 20 years, it will spend further 240 billion on various decarbonization and climate adaptation measures. We anticipated that public and private investment will create hundreds of thousands of new jobs opportunities. Following the progressive restoration of our economic and social activities after the pandemic, low carbon transition provides also a strong driving force for green recovery in Hong Kong. Taking the government as an example, we have created thousands of green jobs in different areas. The Financial Secretary, in his latest budget speech, has pointed out that the world's transition to a green economy brings opportunity to develop Hong Kong into an international green finance and technology center. In the last quarter of this year, Hong Kong will be organizing the first Green Tech Week in the city, bringing regional expert, practitioners, and as well as other academics to this low-carbon economy. For decades, Hong Kong has been in a fast-growing city. Lately, two strategic growth areas, the Lofton Metropolis and the artificial island in Central Waters, are under planning. These new development areas will be developed into carbon neutral and climate resilient cities. It brings about opportunities for application of new technologies, establishment of new business, as well as development of new careers. To face these challenges and to tap on these new business opportunities, we all need to get prepared. Information and intelligence about climate science, technologies, risks, and opportunities are scattering around. The collation of this information and intelligence from different disciplines and continents will help the community, including the business sector, to respond effectively to the unprecedented challenge. Climate risk is also a financial risk. More and more companies are now realizing that the potential of ESG, how it can bring tangible and intangible benefits to the company who stick to good ESG practices. In Hong Kong, ESG is gaining momentum. We also need early action in nurturing talents to capture the opportunities. In the transition to low-carbon economies, new skills and expertise will be required. This presents an opportunity, if not a requirement, for business to invest in their workforce and to cultivate a culture of innovation and sustainability. Empowering the younger generation is empowering ourselves. It would be essential for business to learn about the government's target and strategy in combating climate change. China has made clear that it will endeavor to achieve peaking of its carbon emission before 2030 and reach carbon neutrality before 2060. These are known as the China's dual carbon targets. To contribute our part, Hong Kong is committed to achieve carbon neutrality before 2050, and in the interim, reduce our carbon emission to half before 2035, as compared with our 2005 level. To meet this carbon neutrality target, we have set out our decarbonization strategies, as Kelvin pointed out, in our Hong Kong Climate Action Plan 2050. The strategy tackles our main source of carbon emissions, including electricity generation, which accounts for about 60% of our carbon emission, transport, account for 20%, and waste disposal at landfills, which account for about 10%. Please spare me 2 minutes for explaining these decarbonization strategies, including their progress. Net zero electricity generation. We have stopped building new coal-fired power plants since 1997, and over the years, we have progressively reduced the use of coal as fuel for power generation, and today, coal is about 25% of Hong Kong's fuel mix for electricity generation. We are committed to phase out the use of coal by 2035. To expedite the transformation of low-carbon energy, we are taking steps to increase our share in RE renewable energy in our fuel mix. We are also actively exploring the potential of new energy, such as hydrogen, which I talked about before this meeting. Our goal is to achieve net zero carbon emission in electricity generation before 2050. Our second strategy, energy saving in green building, which bothers many of us. Just like many other urban cities, buildings account for about 90% of our electricity consumption. We have set forth both medium and long-term strategies to achieve energy saving and to reduce the electricity consumption in our buildings. We are progressively tightening up the energy efficiency standards for buildings and expanding the mandatory energy efficiency labeling systems to cover more electrical appliances. Through regulation, smart energy management, public education, we can reduce electricity consumption and lower the cost in switching to new energy. This is conducive to maintain Hong Kong's overall competitiveness in the global arena, in turn benefiting enterprise and citizens. Strategy number 3, the green transport. In March 2021, we published Hong Kong's roadmap on popularization of EVs. I hope you will be excited to learn that in last year, Among all the newly registered private cars in Hong Kong, more than half are EVs. Looking ahead, we will start testing hydrogen vehicles this year and prohibit new registration of fuel-propelled private cars before 2035. Strategy number 4, waste reduction. Waste decomposition at landfill accounts for about 5 to 10% of our carbon emissions. Over the past few years, we have spent a lot of effort in expanding our community recycling effort with a view to reducing the amount of waste requiring disposal at our landfill. In parallel, we have developed new waste-to-energy facilities to reduce our reliance on landfill. We are preparing for the launching of the municipal solid waste charging, and we will also reducing our food waste through diverting them from the landfill. Now, let me introduce the new Climate Office. The office was set up in January this year to coordinate climate action in different government departments and bureaus, to promote proactive participation in business sector, and to engage the general public in developing a low-carbon lifestyle. The Climate Office is also responsible for international liaison and promotion of regional collaboration. Business sector is an important and key participant of Hong Kong's carbon neutrality journey. Since establishment in January this year, the Climate Office has been reaching out different business sectors to solicit support and collaboration. The office is working hand in hand with the business sector to address the climate risk. Earlier this month, we have set up a new council on carbon neutrality and sustainable development to draw on the expertise and leaderships in business sector. We are hopeful for more collaboration with BEC and her members in driving for sectorial leaderships in decarbonization and climate adaptation. We would like to invite BEC members, sectorial leaders in Hong Kong, to proactively take part in international fora to tell Hong Kong's good story. We would also like to invite the participation of BEC members in preparing Hong Kong enterprise to international best practice in climate change. There are much opportunity for regional business and trade collaboration, for instance, in the Greater Bay Area and the Belt and Road region. We will enlist your contribution and involvement in developing Hong Kong into an international green finance and technology centers. Climate change is a journey for all of us, regardless of age, professional background, business discipline, where you come from, or where you will be in the next decade or so. I urge you all to get prepared and to proactively take part in this challenging journey. As the saying goes, crisis brings opportunity. The business sector plays an indispensable role in Hong Kong to grasp the green economy opportunities. Thanks again for inviting me to share in today's event. May I wish you all a most fruitful exchange in the coming sessions. The Climate Office looks forward to working closely with all of you as we embark on Hong Kong's journey on deep decarbonization. Thank you.